Good afternoon, everybody. I'm honored to give these presentations for this Global Council for Innovation in Rapeseed in canola. It is an online version, unfortunately, but hope next time we can meet. I selected some slides in the context of RNAi bioproducts, and I made the title registration. So registration of RNAi insecticides with specific questions. What do we know already? And of course, what do we not know yet? It's a presentation of two groups. My group at Ghent University, Guy SMAGGHE and Christophe de Schutter, together with a group in Tartu in Estonia, Professor Eva Veerman and her postdoc Jonathan Willow. I do already nearly 30 years of research on insects, caterpillars, beetles, and aphids, but also on pollinators, on beneficial insects, pollinators, and natural enemies. I divided my talk in two parts. One is what is the current status of RNAi and the market, and a second part on the regulatory. Of course, to know what is in the market gives us an idea what products are there or can be there. And in fact, for the RNAi products, there are two groups. A first group is focusing on host-induced gene silencing. So the effect, the compound is delivered through the plant. And there is a major technology there, which is called SmartStack Pro. It was originally developed by Monsanto and now under the umbrella of Bayer. It is a GM maize with the name MON 87411. It is overexpressing Bt toxin and also double-stranded RNA against an essential gene. And as you see here, it is to protect maize crops, the roots specifically, against this $1 billion devastating pest insect, the Western corn rootworm. It was approved already in 2016 in North America and Brazil, and it is expected to be in the US markets next year in 2022. The second approach, how to deliver double-stranded RNA for RNAi gene silencing, is through spray induction, so a 6 approach. There are different compounds that are coming to the market. One is by Syngenta. It is to protect potato plants against Corrida potato beetle, against damage of that pest insect. There is already field testing done. A second company in this segment of 6 is Greenlight Bioscience. It's a North US company. Also focusing to protect potatoes against Corrida potato beetle, including field testing. And a third 6 approach is by the BioDirect technology. And here, the aim of this technology is to use double-stranded RNA in the syrup of honeybees to protect honeybees against Varroa mites, Varroa destructor mites. So these are two different approaches, how to deliver double-stranded RNA to protect plants or to protect honeybees. So what do we know now at the level of regulation? And for this, I will show you three scenarios that are, first one is in United States, where there is a regulatory framework based on the pesticide regulation. So this pesticide regulation gives two options. One is a permit for experimental use, and the other one is the regulatory by EPA, by the Environmental Protection Agency, which is, of course, the legal basis for this is laying in FIFRA. In relation to data requirements for regulation, there are let's say two opportunities, two options, three categories. One is conventional pesticides, the synthetic products, let's say, microbial pesticides, which is an active, where the active ingredient is a microorganism, and a third category, which are the biochemical pesticides, so naturally occurring substances, and also substances that interfere with mating, plant extracts. And it is in this category that the RNAi, that the double-stranded RNA exogenously sprayed is falling. In Europe, we have another regulation. So this is by regulation number 1107/2009, where there can be approval of an active substance and then the authorization as a plant protection product, as a PPP. And here there are indeed two different categories. One category is where the PPP, the plant protection product, is based on a chemical, or when it's based on a microorganism. So in Europe, the category of biopesticide, like in US, does not exist. So of course, this is generating different questions. And within the regulation of 1107/2009, in the Article 77, it is stipulated that the Commission may adopt or amend a technical or a guidance document in relation to different products as biological products. Now, for double-stranded RNA-based compounds, there is no specific document defining data requirements for authorization. So at this moment, the double-stranded RNA-based compounds are considered as chemical plant protection products. So they fall within the category of classic chemical pesticides. In Australia, also double-stranded RNA is under development, and based on the regulation there, it is considered as a biopesticide. And there are two statements that support this, because there is no scientific basis suggesting that small double-stranded RNAs present a different property as or pose a higher than those naturally abundant in conventional foods. So they consider it as a natural compound. Of course, when you talk about a formulation, then of course this is a formulated product and can have an effect and has to be investigated, has to be assessed on a case-by-case basis. So in summary, for double-stranded RNA-based compounds, there are three scenarios. One is in the US, where it's considered as a biochemical pesticide. In Europe, it is considered as a chemical pesticide, where you need approval of the active compound and then also approval of the formulation. But there are possible waivers or adjustments to the risk assessment case-on-case decisions. And in Australia, it is considered as an agricultural chemical product, where you need to do risk assessment of the active compound and also assessment of the formulation. Now with this, there are still, I think, for most of us, two questions. And the first one is, when double-stranded RNA is produced by a microorganism, will it then be considered as a GMO? So we can say that if it can be guaranteed that there is no viable organisms present, the double-stranded RNA is considered as non-GMO. Does it require additional data? In the US, double-stranded RNA produced in a modified bacteria, but not viable, or considered as a pesticide intermediate. And this requires, of course, a substitution of a microbial commercial activity notice. What is the impact on the regulatory pathway? In US, we have that the double-stranded RNA is considered as a biochemical pesticide, and this is considered less toxic than a chemical pesticide. Some data may be appropriate to a waiver, and some extra data for sprayed or externally applied double-stranded RNA-based products. In Europe, it is considered as a chemical plant protection product, but there are some possible waivers possible on a case-to-case basis. And in Australia, double-stranded RNA is considered as a natural molecule. When you talk about the formulation, of course, then you also need to assess the formulation components. With this, I thank you very much. And I also want to thank here my collaborators, specifically Christophe de Schutter. This is a picture of the Christmas party we had in 18. And also John and Eve in Tartu. We see them here when we were celebrating the graduation of John with his PhD earlier this year. And with this, I come to the last slide where I thank you, all the audience and the organizers of this meeting. Hope next time we can meet in real person. And I also thank my two founders of my university at the Ghent University. Thank you very much and all the best. Bye-bye.